The driver picked me up and took me to his room. On getting into his room, he just stretched forth his hand and said, Victor, take. Go and give to your malam. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. I'd like to update you on some of the things that this great God began to do to me. I give you an example. A few weeks after I deliberately and intentionally handed my life over to the Lord Jesus, I began to see Him at work in my life and in my situations. For instance, we were to embark on a trip, an official trip, to another city called Gusau in Nigeria, from Zamfara State. We were to go to supervise, and I will do a report on a particular project. And I was supposed to go with my boss, Mr. Okunuga, who was my immediate boss. We were to go by road. Now, this was when we do not have the GSM that we have freely today. So, the night before the trip, because I have become a member of a group called the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International, the primary things they taught us from beginning is that before you do anything, pray about it. I remember that night. I was alone in my flat. I knelt down to pray. And I began to pray. And for the first time in my life, I heard the voice of God. He said, son, you will not go on this trip. I was shocked. I jumped up. I looked around the flat. There was nobody. I checked around the house. There was nobody. And who is calling me son? My father doesn't live around here. And by the way, he was late at that time. So it was then he occurred to me that this could be God speaking to me. And I sat down and I thought, I said, if God is saying I should not go on this trip, then I have no business going on that trip. Next morning, when we were due to leave, I left my office and told my boss, I'm sorry, sir, I won't be on this trip. He said, why? I didn't give him any excuse. I just said I couldn't make it. Then he warned me that all the things due to me, I won't get it because I didn't go on that trip. I said, no problem, sir. He left. 2 days later, we got a radio message that they've been involved in a ghastly motor accident that occurred just before Sokoto. And that my boss was in coma in the hospital. The driver had multiple fractures. And the car was a wreck and a write-off. Now, that is not my story. My story actually started when a man by name Alhaji Bala Wayman, who was our contractor for the big project we had in Gusau, heard of the accident and came into Sokoto to look up those who were involved in the accident. He met my boss, who was then out of coma, and asked, where is Victor? My boss said he refused to come on this trip. The man smiled and laughed and didn't say anything. 2 weeks after this incident, he moved into town, lodged in Hilton Hotel. He has a suite that he pays for 1 year, only used by him. He lodged there, sent his driver to come pick me up. The driver picked me up and took me to his room. On getting into his room, he just stretched forth his hand and said, Victor, take. Go and give to your malam. It was a bundle of 20 naira notes then. That was the highest denomination we had in Nigeria at that time. And a bundle of it means it's 2,000 naira. And he said I should go and get a ram for my malam, thinking I consult marabouts and others. And I told him, no, I don't do such things. He said, don't worry, just go and give them. They knew what was going on and you were protected. And we began to talk, and I put a little bit of pressure on him to find out why was he saying this to me. And he said, listen to me. You remember the 100 million we got from government? I said, yes. He said, you remember we have done everything for you to sign our papers so that we can access it? I said, yes. He said, the contractors came together and said, since you have refused them access to those funds, they will take care of you. And so when the accident occurred, and I got to the hospital and I asked after you, and they say you did not come on that trip. Let me tell you the truth. Whoever or whatever stopped you from coming on that trip delivered you from death. I was shocked, very shocked. But later I found out that it was true. What was planned against me? Just ordinary prayer that I was just committing my trip to the hands of the Lord, that He intervened and stopped me on that trip to frustrate what was plotted to eliminate me. The same can happen to you. This God I'm talking about is alive and well. Give Him a chance and He will change everything about you. Thank you for paying attention to me.
This is it. You have no idea how dangerous this world is. Particularly if you are in a position in government that is critical about how people make money. You are a target. This is just an example. This could happen in any other area of life. Do you know how dangerous this world is? Some people have given money to their own blood brothers or sisters. Build a house for me. And that is the reason why they were poisoned and killed. Some people have given money to blood brothers or blood sisters. Look, let us farm together. You take 50%, I take 50%. That is the reason they went to Babalawo and killed the person who brought out the money. Listen to me. This world is a dangerous place. Beyond what you can imagine. For those people who can harm you most terribly are the people very close to you. But you can see now, but for God, Victor would have died in that accident. Do you know that many of the accidents that you see on our roads are caused by powers of darkness? Do you know that? Witchcraft manipulation causing accidents? There is a God who sees all of them, who knows exactly what is coming, who can warn you against them, who can then protect your life and take you out of what could end your life 40 years, 50 years ahead of time. What Victor is talking about, it's about 30 years ago now. It would have killed him. It would have wasted his life, but for the intervention of heaven. Do you know that God is He your Father? Please look for that my video that is titled The Challenge. Pray a simple prayer of handing over your life to God. Let Him protect you. Even if you were to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will find Him there. You need Him. Humble yourself and you will see the grace of God. Thank you for tuning in again today. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Send this video to your friends. Encourage them. Thank you and God bless you.